Hey guys, have you ever been in a Walmart late at night? When the crowds thin out, the lights dim, and the store feels bigger than it should? Most of us have. It's routine. But what if you looked down an aisle and saw someone who wasn't supposed to be there? Someone who died years ago. Someone who's been waiting for you to notice them. The people in these stories had that experience, and it changed them forever. Here are 3 truly disturbing Walmart horror stories. Let's get into it. The night shift. I've worked the night shift at Walmart for about 2 years. Not by choice, it's just what was available. The store is open 24 hours, but after midnight, it's a different world. The crowds thin out, the lights dim in some sections. And you start to notice things. The customers are different at night. You get the usual insomniacs, new parents, people who work late shifts, but sometimes you get people who don't seem like they're shopping for anything, people who wander the aisles for hours, never putting anything in their cart, people who watch. I learned to ignore them. That's the first rule of working nights. Don't make eye contact, don't engage, just do your job. But there was one customer I couldn't ignore. He started coming in around 2 a.m., tall, thin, always wearing the same thing. A dark hoodie, jeans, boots. He never bought anything, just walked the aisles, slowly, deliberately, always ending up in my section. I worked in electronics. That's where he'd stop, right in front of the security camera display. He'd stand there, staring at the screens, watching the live feeds from around the store. He never touched anything, just stood there, watching. I mentioned it to my manager. She shrugged it off. He's just a weirdo. As long as he doesn't steal anything, ignore him. I tried, but he kept coming back. Every night. Same time. Same place. Standing in front of the security monitors, watching the feeds. Then, one night, I saw something on the screens that made my blood run cold. He was on every camera, every single feed, not just the electronics section, all over the store, aisle 3, the parking lot, the back hallway, the break room. He was everywhere at once. I looked up from the screens. He was standing right in front of me, not 10 feet away. He said, "You see them too, right?" I didn't know what he meant. I just stared at him, my heart pounding. He pointed at the monitors. The others, the ones who don't leave. I looked at the screens. The store looked normal. Empty aisles, empty parking lot, empty hallways. Just me and him. He said, "They're always here. They never leave. They just watch." I said, "Who are you talking about?" He smiled, a thin, empty smile. "The ones who died here, the ones who never made it out. They're still here. They're always watching." He walked away, disappeared down the aisle. I watched him go. I checked the security cameras. He wasn't on any of them, just me, alone. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. I started noticing things after that. Little things. The way the lights flickered in aisle 9, always at the same time. The way the automatic doors opened when no one was there. The way the security cameras would shift, just slightly, like they were tracking something I couldn't see. I asked some of the other night shift workers about it. Most of them laughed it off, said the store was old, the equipment was cheap, nothing to worry about. But one of them, an older guy named Carlos, who'd been there for 15 years, pulled me aside. He said, "You've been talking to the tall guy in the hoodie." I nodded. He looked around, lowered his voice, said, "He's been coming here for years. He knows things he shouldn't know." I asked what he meant. Carlos said, "People have died in this store. Over the years, accidents, fights. A woman had a heart attack in aisle 7 about 10 years ago. A guy fell off a ladder in the back room. A kid was hit in the parking lot. They never really leave. You can feel them sometimes, especially at night." I asked about the tall guy. Carlos shook his head, said, "He's not like them. He's something else. He watches them, and they watch him. It's like he's keeping them in check. Or maybe he's one of them. I don't know." He walked away. Didn't say anything else. I tried to forget about it. Just do my job, keep my head down, make it through the shift. But I couldn't stop looking at the security cameras, couldn't stop watching the empty aisles, waiting for something to move. The tall guy kept coming back. Every night. same time, same spot, staring at the monitors. I stopped acknowledging him, just did my work, pretended he wasn't there. Then, one night, everything changed. It was around 3 a.m. The store was empty. Just me, a cashier named Jenny, and the tall guy in electronics. I was stocking shelves in aisle 12 when the lights went out, not flickered, out. Complete darkness. I stood there, frozen, trying to see anything. Nothing, just black. Then I heard a sound, soft, like footsteps, coming from the end of the aisle. I called out, "Hello, Jenny?" No answer. The footsteps got closer. I pulled out my phone, turned on the flashlight, shone it down the aisle. Empty, nothing there. But on the floor, there was something, a receipt. Fresh, still warm from the register. I picked it up. The timestamp was from 5 minutes ago. The purchase was one item, a flashlight. I shone my light around the aisle. No one, nothing. Then I heard another sound, from the front of the store. A scream. I ran. I found Jenny by the registers. She was on the floor, shaking, pointing at the security monitors. I looked at the screens. They were showing aisle 12, the aisle I'd just been in. And on the screen, I was standing there. But I wasn't alone. There were figures around me, dozens of them, shadows, shapes, pressing in from all sides. I looked at the aisle. It was empty, just me and the shelves. I looked back at the screen. The figures were still there, crowding around me, reaching out, touching me. Jenny was crying, screaming. "They're everywhere. They're always here." He was right. I grabbed her, pulled her toward the exit. The doors wouldn't open. I pushed against them. Nothing, like they were locked from the outside. Behind us, the lights flickered back on. The store looked normal, empty, quiet. But the tall guy was standing at the end of the main aisle, watching us. He said, "They wanted to see you. They've been watching you for weeks. You're the first one who's noticed them in years." I said, "What do you mean they? What are they?" He tilted his head, said, "Lost, waiting, looking for someone to notice them, to remember them." He looked at Jenny. "She can see them now too. They'll follow her. They'll follow both of you." He turned and walked away, disappeared into the aisles. I got the doors open somehow. Jenny and I ran. Didn't stop until we were in the parking lot, in my car, driving away. I quit the next day. Jenny quit too. I haven't been back to that Walmart since, but sometimes, late at night, I see things. Shadows in the corner of my eye, figures standing at the edge of my vision. When I turn, they're gone. Jenny says she sees them too. She says they're still there, still watching. I don't know what they want. I don't know if they're the ones who died in that store or something else, something that was there long before Walmart ever built on that land. But I know they're still there, in aisle 12, by the security cameras, in the dark, waiting for the next person who notices them, waiting to be seen. The woman in aisle 7. I've done the late-night Walmart run 100 times. You know the drill. Work runs late, you don't feel like cooking. You swing by the store around midnight to grab something quick. The place is empty, the checkout lines are short, and you can be in and out in 15 minutes. That's what I told myself when I pulled into the parking lot around 11:45 on a Tuesday. I just needed milk, bread, and maybe some ice cream. In and out. The parking lot was nearly empty. A few cars scattered near the entrance, a semi-truck idling at the far end. I parked close, walked toward the glowing blue sign. That's when I noticed her. A woman, standing by the entrance, not going in, not coming out, just standing there, facing the doors. I walked past her. She didn't move, didn't look at me, just stood there, arms at her sides, staring into the store. I went inside, grabbed a cart, started toward the grocery section. The store was quiet, a few employees stocking shelves, a couple of other shoppers here and there. Normal. I grabbed milk, bread, headed toward the freezer aisle for ice cream. That's when I saw her again. She was in aisle 7, standing in the middle of the aisle, facing the shelves, not moving. I stopped, looked at her. She was wearing a long coat, dark hair pulled back, face half hidden in shadow. Something about her was wrong, the way she stood, the way she didn't blink, the way she didn't seem to be breathing. I walked past her, grabbed my ice cream, headed toward checkout. At the register, I glanced back toward aisle 7. She was standing at the end of the aisle, facing me. I turned away, paid, grabbed my bags, walked toward the exit. She was standing by the doors, the same spot she'd been in when I walked in, facing me. I stopped. My heart was pounding. I said, "Can I help you with something?" She didn't answer, just stood there. I walked toward the exit. She didn't move. I had to step around her to get to the doors. As I passed, I felt something. Cold, like walking through a freezer aisle. I got to my car, threw my bags in the back, got in, locked the doors. I looked at the entrance. She was standing there, still facing me. I drove away, didn't look back. I told myself it was nothing. A weirdo, a homeless person, someone with mental health issues. Happens all the time. I went back a week later. Same time, same routine. She was there again, same spot, same coat, same empty stare. I didn't go in. I just sat in my car for a minute, watching her. She didn't move, didn't blink, just stood there, facing the store. I drove to a different Walmart across town. She wasn't there. I did my shopping, went home, tried to forget. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, that she wasn't just a random person, that she was waiting for something, for someone. A few days later, I was telling a coworker about it. He went pale. He said, "You saw her too?" I asked what he meant. He said, "There's a woman who haunts the Walmart on Thompson. People have seen her for years. She stands by the entrance. Sometimes she follows people through the store. Sometimes she stands outside their cars. They say she died there. A long time ago. A car accident in the parking lot. She never left." I laughed it off, said I didn't believe in ghosts. He said, "Check the local news archives. 1987. Woman hit by a semi in the parking lot, right where you always park." I went home that night and looked it up. He was right. November 1987. A woman named Ellen Marsh was walking across the parking lot when a semi-truck making a delivery hit her. She died at the scene. The truck driver said he never saw her, said she came out of nowhere. The article had a photo, her face, dark hair, long coat. It was her. I didn't sleep that night. I told myself it was a coincidence. The photo was black and white, grainy. It could have been anyone. I was seeing things. I didn't go back to that Walmart for a month. I drove across town, paid a little more for gas, told myself it was worth it. Then one night, I was low on gas. I was tired. The other Walmart was 20 minutes in the wrong direction. I told myself it was fine. I'd just run in, grab what I needed, run out. I wouldn't even look at the entrance. I pulled into the parking lot. There was a spot near the front. I took it. I looked at the entrance. She wasn't there. I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Got out of the car, walked toward the doors. Inside, I grabbed a cart, did my shopping. Everything was normal. The store was quiet. No strange women, no empty stares. I paid, walked toward the exit. She was standing by my car, not by the entrance, by my car, standing at the driver's side door, facing me. I stopped. My heart was pounding. I looked around. The parking lot was empty. No other cars, no people, just me and her. I walked toward her, slowly. Every step felt like a mile. I said, "What do you want?" She didn't answer, just stood there. I got closer, close enough to see her face. She wasn't young, not old either, just there. Her eyes were dark, empty, like looking into a hole that went on forever. She opened her mouth. Her lips moved. No sound came out, but I heard her anyway, inside my head, a voice that wasn't a voice. "You see me?" I couldn't move, couldn't speak, just stood there, staring into those empty eyes. "They never see me, not anymore, but you do." I tried to speak. Nothing came out. "I need you to tell them. I wasn't running. I wasn't drunk. I was walking to my car. He didn't see me. He didn't look. He just drove. I felt tears on my face. I don't know why. I wasn't sad. I was terrified. Tell them I was there. Tell them I didn't run. Tell them I didn't leave my daughter on purpose. She reached out. Her hand touched my arm. It was cold. So cold it burned. And then she was gone. I stood there in the empty parking lot, shaking, my arm numb where she'd touched me. I got in my car, drove home. I didn't go to that Walmart again. I moved across town a few months later. New job, new apartment, new everything. But I couldn't forget what she said about her daughter, about the truck driver, about no one seeing her. I looked up the case again. The accident. Ellen Marsh, 34, mother of 2. The police report said she ran across the parking lot without looking. The truck driver wasn't charged. Case closed. But there was a footnote in one article, a small paragraph. Her daughter had filed a lawsuit years later, said her mother wasn't running, said she was walking to her car, said the truck driver was speeding. The case was dismissed. Not enough evidence. I sat there for a long time, staring at that article. I don't know if she's still there. At that Walmart, standing by the entrance, waiting for someone to see her. I hope someone does. I hope someone tells her story, tells them what really happened, because she was there. She didn't run. She didn't leave her daughter on purpose. She was just walking to her car, and no one saw her. The cart that followed me. I don't usually shop at night, but it was one of those weeks. Work ran late every day, the fridge was empty, and I was running on caffeine and bad decisions. By Thursday, I needed food, real food. So at 11:30 p.m., I pulled into the Walmart parking lot. The store was quiet. A few cars scattered across the asphalt, the glow of the blue sign reflecting off the wet pavement. Standard, comforting. I grabbed a cart from the corral near the entrance and walked inside. The automatic doors slid open, warm air, the hum of refrigerators, a cashier at register 4 scrolling through her phone, an older couple in the cereal aisle, normal, safe. I headed toward the grocery section, making a mental list. Bread, eggs, coffee, the usual. I was tired, but in that way where you're running on autopilot. Grab the things, pay, go home, sleep. Simple. I was in aisle 9, grabbing pasta, when I noticed my cart was gone. I looked around. It wasn't there. I'd only turned my back for a second. I scanned the aisle. Nothing. I walked back the way I came. Nothing. Then I saw it. At the end of the aisle, parked sideways, blocking the way to the dairy section. I walked toward it. It was my cart. Same wobbly wheel, same broken handle. I was sure of it, but it was empty. The few things I'd put in, pasta, sauce, a bag of frozen vegetables, were gone. I stood there for a moment, trying to figure out what happened. Maybe someone took it by mistake. Maybe an employee moved it. Annoying, but not impossible. I grabbed a new cart from the corral. Started over. I was in aisle 12, grabbing cereal, when I heard it, a squeaking wheel. Behind me, I turned. My cart was there. The first one. The one with the wobbly wheel. Parked right behind me. It was empty. Still empty. But it was there. I looked around. No one in the aisle. The store was quiet. Too quiet. The overhead lights buzzed, but I couldn't hear anyone else. No footsteps, no voices. Just me and that cart. I walked away, left it there, told myself it was a coincidence. Someone moved it, left it, moved on. I went to the dairy section, grabbed eggs, milk, yogurt. My new cart was fine, normal. I started to relax. Then I saw it again. The first cart, parked at the end of the dairy aisle, facing me. I stopped, stared at it. It didn't move. It was just a cart, a shopping cart. But something about it was wrong. The way it sat, the way it faced me, like it was waiting. I walked toward it, fast. Decided I was going to push it into a corner and be done with it. When I got close, I saw something inside. At the bottom of the cart, under where the seat would be. A receipt. I picked it up. It was fresh. Warm from the register. The timestamp was from 5 minutes ago. The purchase was one item. Flashlight. I dropped the receipt, looked around. The aisle was empty. The store was empty. But my new cart was gone. I spun around. The second cart, my cart, was gone, vanished. In its place, the first cart, the one with the wobbly wheel, parked exactly where I'd left the second one. And inside it, my things: pasta, sauce, frozen vegetables, eggs, milk, yogurt. Everything I'd picked up, all of it, sitting in the cart I'd left behind twice. I stood there, frozen. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. I looked around. No one. Just the humming lights and the long, empty aisles. I grabbed my things from the cart, stuffed them into my pockets, my arms, anything. I didn't care. I just wanted to leave. I walked toward the front of the store, fast, didn't look back. At the registers, I dumped my things on the belt. The cashier looked at me, then at the stuff. She scanned it, without a word. I paid, grabbed my bags, walked toward the exit. That's when I heard it again. The squeaking wheel. Behind me. I didn't turn, just kept walking. The automatic doors opened. I stepped out into the parking lot. Cold air, empty spaces, my car, at the far end, near the edge of the lot. I walked toward it, fast. The squeaking followed. Closer now. I reached my car, unlocked it, threw my bags in the back. I looked up. The cart was there, parked right behind my car, blocking me in. I stared at it. It was empty again. Nothing inside. Just the cart, the wobbly wheel, the broken handle, and something else. On the handle, there was a handprint, small, child-sized, fresh. I didn't put it there. I looked around. The parking lot was empty. No cars, no people, just me and the cart. And then I heard it. Not a squeak, a voice. Soft, high, a child's voice. "Can you help me? I lost my mom." I turned. No one was there. I turned back to the cart. The handprint was gone. I got in my car, locked the doors, started the engine. In the rearview mirror, I saw the cart. It was moving, slowly, rolling toward my car. No one pushing it, just rolling. I hit the gas, pulled out of the spot, drove toward the exit. In my mirror, I saw the cart stop, at the edge of the parking lot, facing the road, facing me. I drove home, didn't look back, didn't stop. That was 3 weeks ago. I haven't been back to that Walmart. I go to the one across town now, during the day, when it's crowded. But sometimes, late at night, I think about that cart. The way it followed me, the way it knew where I was, the way it was always there when I turned around. And I think about the voice, the child's voice, asking for help, lost, alone. I looked up missing children reports from that area. There was one, 15 years ago. A boy, 6 years old, vanished from that Walmart parking lot. Never found. His mother said he was right behind her, right there. And then, he wasn't. They searched for weeks. Nothing. I wonder if he's still there, still waiting, still pushing that cart, trying to get someone to see him. I wonder if the cart was his, or if something else was pushing it. And I wonder what would have happened if I'd answered, if I'd said yes, if I'd turned around when I heard that voice. I'm glad I didn't. But sometimes, when I'm walking through a store, I hear it, a squeaking wheel, behind me, and I don't turn around. Walmart is supposed to be a place where you can get what you need, any time of day or night. But for the people in these stories, it became something else. A place where the dead linger, a place where things pretend to be children, a place where you're never really alone. They survived, but they'll never look at that blue sign the same way again. Which story hit closest to home? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you want more true horror, the kind that could happen to anyone who's ever walked into a store at 2 a.m., hit that follow button. I'll be here every week with new stories. Until then, check the cameras, watch the empty aisles, and never, ever follow a cart into the dark. Stay safe.